What it is, what it do, folks. I know it's been a long, long time. Like I told y'all before on Twitter, IG, y'all already know my name. Y'all know my slogan. I'm back. I'm back. Another episode of Fan to Fan Talk series. And as you see, I got Twitter's finest, one of the finest groups ever. My boy Cash, my boy Smoove, my boy Mo. What it is, what it do, folks. How y'all living, man?
What's going on, Trip? Appreciate you having us on here, man. It's been a pleasure. You coming into our spaces, laying down the land of how you feel about the Knicks and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And we do appreciate the platform that you give us today, bro.
That's a fact. I appreciate y'all. Like I said, man, all three of y'all helped me learn what spaces was. I be explaining it to people. They be like, yo, bro, this is my space. I'm like, all right, man, y'all overdoing it. Y'all overdoing it. Like, but I appreciate y'all for real, for real. And I like everything y'all do for real. Like, keep it up. Keep it up. But as y'all all know, since it's a new episode for this, everybody's probably like, who are these people? How are they Knicks fans? So we're gonna swing it around the room. We're gonna start with you first, Mo. How long you been a Knicks fan, and what made you fall in love with the Knicks?
Man, growing up in New York City, I'm from Brooklyn. So my parents played sports. My siblings all loved playing sports. I was young, I was 5 years old. The first thing I did was pick up a basketball. I loved it. I saw everyone rocking the Knicks jersey all around. It was the city of New York and everyone loved it. My father took me to my first Knicks game. I was 6 years old. I loved it. He bought me a Patrick Ewing jersey in the middle of the garden. I was excited.
That's fire.
Day of my life. And every time since then, I just wanted to be a Knicks fan for the rest of my life.
Short, simple to the point. I love that. But my boy got
Mhm.
the Patrick Ewing jersey mid game. Like what? I wish my mom and dad did that. I
Yeah.
wish they did that for real. That's fire, bro. That's fire. That's a blessing too. That is
Thank
a
you.
super blessing. Now, Smoove, you already know. Same question coming at you.
Well, what's good, everybody? Thank you for the opportunity. Y'all know who it is, man. It's the one and only Inch from Philly. Most people call me Smooth. I've been a Knicks fan since the '90s, man. My favorite player was Allen Houston. I literally modeled my game after him. And, I used to just love the way his mid-range jumper was. So as a kid, it was bred into me. And I didn't have much choice, man. It was the Knicks or nobody. So, growing up, man, it's not just the honor, man, but it's the fans, man. It's the players, the coaches, and how could you like any other team, man? And again, brother, thank you for the opportunity, and it's good to be a part of something wonderful, man.
That's a fact. That's a fact. And always blessings, blessings. My boy said he modeled his game after Allen Houston. We're gonna have to see what's up. When I come back home, son, when I come back home, because I'm in NC right now. When I come back home, we gotta get a game going for real. It's getting hot. It's getting hot. We're gonna have to see what's up with that Jimmy. For real, bro. But Cash, last but not least, let them know.
Appreciate you. And by the way, Smooth, my game's more like Latrell, though. I'm saying we can meet up and we go to the park and handle
Yeah,
that. Nah, but for real though, like same thing as Mo, bro. My parents, my family in particular, were always big on basketball. We would have parties at the house whenever the playoffs started and stuff like that. So all these big events, you just gravitate to what's going on. I see the games and stuff like that. Back then, it was the Bulls and the Knicks and stuff like that during those playoff runs and stuff like that. Real big stuff. My father always took me to the games. You know what I mean? I always gotta respect him for that. I mean, he took me to Mets games. I'm not a baseball fan, but he did a lot for me. You know what I'm saying? I was bored at those games, but you know what I'm saying. But as far as the Knicks games, man, like basketball is just something special to me. Like it's just a part of my life and what I do in every aspect. And the Knicks are like a part of my fucking life. It's crazy, bro. It's nuts.
That's a
yeah.
fact. That is a super fact. And for everybody that's tuning in, if y'all forgot, I'm probably like the youngest one out of the whole four of us right now. So I came in late, but I'm like, I had to study the game. I literally became a Knicks fan due to the fact my father loved the Bulls. And I was like, what team don't you like? And this was exactly like I said. It was Knicks and Bulls going now. I'm going with the Knicks. So
Hmm.
that's what it was. And then
That's New
from
York
there,
attitude right there, bro. That's New York
yo,
attitude.
what? What?
We've
Me
been
and
miserable ever since.
tell me about it. Like my first ever game I really seen, and now mind you, like I said, I'm only 28. So my first game I seen, he's rewatching the finals game, and I'm like, bro, hold on. Did Patrick Ewing just miss that? Is he like almost 7 feet? And he finger rolled and he could have dumped it? I was pissed after that. But then after that, getting down the line, Jamal Crawford came, and it was lights up after that. That's my ultimate favorite Knicks player. That's what made me really fall in love with the Knicks forever. Never left. Never left, y'all. But that's enough of the introductions, right? You already know how we all do from the spaces to how we are as Knicks fans. My first question, and then I'm going to send it right to you, Cash. You're going to start it off. But my first question is, how did you feel coming into the season about our team, and how do you feel right now?
Oh my god. Oh
Yeah.
man. All right. Oh man, that's a big one. Listen, I thought, you know what I mean? I'm a big fan of, the KFTVs and the JDs of the world. So I'm with the 50 burgers and all that shit that's going on or whatever. Like I really thought like, picking up a Kemba and Fournier, oh, we just added some firepower. Like, let's go. Like, you know what I mean? We're gonna just go back to the playoffs, you know what I mean? We're gonna, scrape those Hawks. You know what I mean? I want to see the Nets. I want to like, you know what I mean? I'm all hyped. Like I'm like super hyped for this. You know what I mean? And then, we have that. I think it was like 6 games in, we're like 5-1, and then we were a couple of games over 500 here and there. But I started noticing this team and what they really were early. I was one of the first ones to really see it because those Magic games that told me a lot about the character of this team and what they're really made of and the mistakes that they make like during the season they were just not regular mistakes, you know what I mean? Like, and then they were getting away with it, in the beginning of the season. Now they can't at all. But how I feel about this, the end of the season now, like I had to switch my mindset. Like I legitimately started the top five dead or alive, tank talk. You know what I mean? I'm the tank captain right now because I gotta keep it positive. You feel me? Because I can't sit here like I'm thinking to myself like I can't just sit here and be miserable because of losing games. I gotta like, what's gonna help myself and the community? You know what I'm saying? Get together. All right, let's. If we get a top five pick, at least there's a chess move there. At least there's a goal where we can either grab the asset, draft the person, or we can use it as an asset to at least get a point guard here, and we have some hope for the future. So what I really am doing is selling hope at this point. You know what I mean? And just trying to keep it positive. Because if we just go by the games and just losing, bro, we're gonna be miserable. You know what I mean?
That's a fact. That's a fact. And I respect that all the way, bro. Oh man, you really did start it. And now all
I
of us
did.
like, all right, man, let's get that top five pick, man.
Yeah.
Like no
I was
cap.
in it. I was in it early too.
Definitely, man. But yo, Smoove, going at you. Same question.
You know,
He had to take a deep mouth. He said, you see his face, he's like,
Well, man, he's sighed. He sighed.
so I've never had a season I was full of excitement and then to be so disappointed towards like the middle of the season because I was calling KFTV and I agree with JD. I think we're gonna get 50 wins. I'm sitting there like, man, if all we needed was some offense, so my thinking was, you know, if we can just make some shots, I think that we got a decent chance of, winning more games. And I'm thinking with Tom Thibodeau as the head coach, I'm thinking that the defensive intensity is still gonna be there. And I knew from game one that our defense was just not the same because even though we won that game, but the points that we were giving up, the easy baskets, it was a cause for an alarm, and I'm sitting there thinking like, man, like, we are giving a lot of points up. And then when we started 5-1, I'm hyped, I'm excited. I'm like, man, like we're really making moves, but you can just see that, the defense was just never there. I mean, it was never there all year. And then, we were above 500. And I was getting very frustrated with the fact that the young guys weren't playing, and then, you see Coach Tibbs with his rotations, and then you're like, man, we could actually be better if we play the young guys more, even if, you're not starting all the kids. And, I gotta be honest, man, I still had hope that we were going to make that playoffs, but it was definitely that Brooklyn game. It was that Brooklyn game where we were up 28. I'm thinking, we got this team. Maybe we could kind of make the play in. And, like I told Cash and Mo and everybody on the space,
mm-hmm.
I saw Brooklyn coming back. And I'm just sitting there. If we lose this game and this season is done, like really done. And, we lost that game and I was so angry. And all I kept hearing in my head was tank, 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 top five. And, it's so disappointing because, as a Knicks fan, like we don't get to cheer a lot for our team. And the fact that we just dropped so far down, it's disappointing, man. And, we all feel the same way. We need a new coach. We need to, make some moves. And, right now, man, let's get a top draft choice and let's just see where it takes us, man. Whether if it's through trade or, just draft on a young point guard. But we got to take care of that point guard. It's so bad right now. It makes me want to go bald at this point. So it's just, I can't take it no more. Like last night was just pathetic. So, yeah, bro. I mean, that's kind of how I feel about this season.
Fact. You already know, Mo. Let us know. Let us know.
Yeah, man. I mean, a lot of the guys summed up. I mean, they got it on point. But before the season, I kept on thinking about, all right, I went to these playoff games. What were we missing? We weren't healthy. I felt like the thing would be so different if Mitchell Robinson was playing. I felt like the series would have been a completely different thing if Mitch was playing. It would have took a lot of stress off of Randall. Everyone said Randall didn't show up. It was a given. We understood that. Coming into the season, I wasn't really pleased with the Kemba Walker trade. I mean, the signing. I'm like, yeah, you got him for cheap. I understand. You can take a risk. Why not? But after the whole year, us knowing that Alfred Payton was the problem, the best we could have gone was a mid 30-year-old Kemba Walker with no legs. I mean, it was very questionable to me. I understood, Fournier, you got him for 78 million with the team option. Everyone thought we had a lot of team-friendly deals, bringing back Alec Burks, bringing back Noel. What happens when we start the season? We're 5-1. Everyone's happy. I remember going to the games in the beginning of the season. I mean, I'm a season ticket holder, so I go to almost every single game. And the whole garden, everyone's outside screaming, happy. We're winning 5-1, first place in the whole league. And then, like Cash brought up, the Angel brought up, once we got to Orlando, you're playing a team that hasn't won any games yet. You're playing a team where they start to expose you on your defensive side of the ball. After Mike Woodson left this team, I felt like a lot has changed. The chemistry between the team changed a lot. I understand Thibodeau, a defensive-minded coach, but him being such an older guy, such a much older, old school style play coach, was a big difference to these younger guys. I honestly thought that IQ was going to take a big step this season. So throughout the beginning of the season, I'm waiting for IQ to show that last year he did great. He was an automatic with his floater. His 3-point shot was great. Led the league in free throw shooting for a couple of months. So you expected a lot of things to change to get better. And then all I keep thinking about in my head is what State always says, almighty fourth seed. And it's true. That fourth seed got into a lot of the Knicks players' heads and a lot of the fans as well. And you expect only for them to get better and better. Why? We've been fans for 25, 30 years. You see them failing, and you've built all this frustration through the draft, year after year, coach after coach. You just want to see them succeed. And we got a little bit of hope with that fourth seed. You expect them to get better, and they just go down, just crushes your hopes and your dreams. And at this point, now at the end of the season, after what we thought prior to the season, I want them to tank. I mean, no one wants to root against their team, but you also want to think realistically. If we win now playing our young guys, yeah, it's great to see the young guys play. But in the offseason, when we get the 8th or 9th pick instead of the 3rd or 4th, you're going to be like, oh, fuck. If we just didn't win those games, like we said 2 years ago. And then we ended up in the 7th pick and we took Kevin Knox. So I understand the frustration with Angel. Angel loves the Knicks from his heart. And that's what I love about him when I'm listening to him talk in the spaces. He really loves the Knicks. He gets frustrated. My bro, I have fucking high blood pressure. My doctor tells me it's because of the Knicks. So I know how it feels. But I also want to think realistically that our best options right now is let Tibbs do whatever he wants. I can give a shit less. Get to the offseason, and then we'll see what the front office can do then. And then we can talk about all this at the beginning of the season, at the end of the summer.
Definitely, man. It's crazy because I had the same thoughts coming in. Like at first, I was kind of upset that we didn't bring Frank back, and that's where the little doubt started with me. It started with that because I'm like, all right, we just let go of two good defensive guys to really like the way we signed everybody. I'm like, bro, we running it back. Why would you not just get rid of the one person you had to get rid of? That was only Elfrid Payton. You only had to get rid of him. Then when we got Evan, I was like, okay, upgrade over over, Reggie when it comes to scoring, but he's going to take a lapse on defense. So I'm thinking in my mind, like I said, all right, we're going to let Frank rock out. Like, he started showing promise. Him and RJ got a good, cohesion together. All right, he about to get busy. Let him walk. I was like, all right, cool, whatever. We get Kemba Walker. I'm like, all right, Bronx native. I'm from the Bronx. He went to Rice. I went to Rice. I'm like, all right, we about to be lit. Like, Kimba, he's cardiac arrest for real though, and not in a good way. You feel me? Like I was super tight, bro, super tight. Like, cause I'm not understanding. I'm like, what happened to you, bro? Like, did you really work on that knee, or was you just chilling in the room? Like, what was you doing? Whatever. So we get past that. Then I start seeing Randall slip, and when I see Randall slip, I'm like, yo, I guess it really is true. And I called that. It's the curse of the MIP award. Anybody that wins that award the next season, they do horrible. It's like proven fact. You could go down the list. And if you want a recent person that got that award, the same thing happened with Pascal Siakam. He got it. Next year, he was due. He was trash. Like, I hate that award. I don't want anybody on the Knicks to ever win that award again. So, John Morant, go win that. You feel me? Go win that. Other than that, it was just like, oh man, bro. It was just endless downhill spirals, nonstop. And it's just like, I didn't want to think we were going to tank. But now it's like, you got to do it. You have no choice, because when you get into that top 5, it gives you a variety of so many options to go with. Because like you said, we could either go get a good draft pick. We can trade for a young PG. Maybe one of these guys get a first round exit. They want out. Now we could trade for them. It's just so many options with a top 5 pick versus a top 10 pick, But the only thing that's like really got me going crazy with the end of the season is like, okay, what young piece is not going to be here next year? Because I know for a fact one of these young guys is not going to be here. Like it's just proven facts. But everybody, this series is going to be so lit. It's about to be a 3-part series. So this part 1, we're going to go ahead and get into part 2. Give me a second, y'all. Give me a second.